This tutorial is to help make sure that your video is in focus. It's always annoying to not know if your eyes are bad or the video is out of focus. And it's especially important when you're shooting with a high definition camera like ours.
First, turn the camera on to record mode and open the LCD panel. Then push the little switch on the side from auto down to manual. Zoom in on whatever you want to focus on. At first it probably won't be totally in focus, but the autofocus should kick in and focus it. Now we want to make sure that we stay focused on our subject even when we zoom out. So we'll need to turn the manual focus on by pushing the switch on the side down to focus. It springs back up automatically. The wheel menu will change to look like this. We'll talk about that in a little bit. If you look on the left hand side of the LCD panel, you'll notice the letters MF now appear. This lets us know that the camera is now in manual focus mode, so no matter where we move, the focus is locked on that distance and won't change. By pushing down on the switch again, it will turn off the manual focus and go back to automatic focus. If I want to lock onto this distance, I just push the switch down again to manual focus, and when I move back to my original subject, you'll see that I'm staying locked onto the background. So I just switch back to autofocus and I'm back on my original subject. Doing this is probably the quickest way to lock onto a specific focal distance, but if you find that autofocus is having a hard time focusing or is just focusing on the wrong thing, then you'll need to use these controls. First, make sure you're in manual focus mode so that the manual focus controls are showing. You'll also need to be zoomed in on the subject. Then, by using the joystick on the back of the camera, you can select MF- or MF+ to adjust the focus. A box with a more zoomed in view will appear to help you better fine-tune the focus. When you aren't focusing, the box will go away. You can also make the wheel menu open and close by pressing in on the joystick on the back. Once you get comfortable using the manual focus controls, you can go from focusing on one subject to another. This is called a rack focus. If your subjects are further apart, the effect will be more noticeable. You should also be a little ways away from your closest subject and then zoom in to frame it up.
The autofocus is actually pretty good as long as you have decent lighting, but I actually still like to manual focus just to be sure I'm getting exactly what I want.